What's going on, everybody? Hideous Thoughts coming at you with another Black Desert Online video for console. This is episode 10 of my Black Desert console series. Before we go any further, guys, if we could get this video to 10 likes, hit that thumbs up button. It's really going to help the channel out, get this video out, get it past the YouTube algorithms, and get this video to more people looking for tutorials and videos specifically for Black Desert on console. In today's video, we're going to be covering a topic which is pretty relevant to right now what's going on in the game. So we're going to be talking about farming. And farming is important because for those of you who are interested in getting the Dream Horse, it is one of the best ways that you can get mats for the Dream Horse Awakening attempt. So we're going to be covering a bit of everything regarding like farming, how you can start in farming. So for those of you who are a beginner and you've never done it before, we're going to go over a lot of different topics and different things that you can do and try. Now, just a little bit of a disclaimer: I'm not a day one farmer. I'm not a complete professional farmer. I've been doing it for a little bit. And I'm going to be showing you the things that I've done and what's worked for me. So there's probably going to be people out there who know more than me. Actually, I'm going to guarantee you there's people out there who know more than me when it comes to farming. And that's awesome. And, you know, there's going to be people who do things differently and have maybe better ways to do things. But what I'm going to show you today, like I said, is what I've been doing and what works for me. And I'm going to, and hopefully I'll be able to help you guys get started with your farming. So to do this, what you're going to need is you're going to need 100 contribution points, and you're going to need a little bit of energy as well. So if you need contribution points, what you can do is I'm going to link a video up the top right corner. Oh, there it is right there. It's for my contribution farming video that I've done. You can head over to Duvenkroon and you can farm yourself some contribution points every single day. And if you need some energy, I'm also going to link my video for my energy guide, and it's there it is, right up in the corner right there as well. So you guys can jump over and have a look at the energy guide as well. You can check that out and learn how you can get more energy and what you can do with energy as well. So let's say already that you've got your 100 contribution points and you've got you know, at least kind of like 150 energy or something like that. Okay, it's not hard to get, but let's just start with that. So what you're gonna need to do is you can go to your find NPC and you go into the search and you're gonna put in fence, right? So you put in fence, and then it comes up here with a list of all the fence and all the NPCs that you can rent fences off. Okay, we're going to be going to the one in Heidel. Okay, we're going to go to this guy here, the material vendor, Flaviano. Okay, so we click on that. It's going to set a waypoint, and he's right here. So you're going to talk to him, and now what you're going to do is you are going to go to chat, and you're going to go to rent strong fence. There's different kind of fences in the game. So strong fences allow you to have 10 farm spots, and there are other ones that allow you to have less. I believe that the strong fences are probably the most beneficial for what we're doing right now. Others might disagree, but if you're leveling your character for farming, then this is definitely, I believe, the best way to do it. So what you can do is you can talk to the NPC and you can just go rent, and you're just going to do it one after the other until you get 10 fences. Alright, so there we go. So we've got our 10 fences. Now what you're going to need as well, I'm going to be doing this on a brand new farming character. You're going to be able to see here. You can see my farming on this character is 0, completely fresh, and that's why I thought it'd be a good idea to do this video, because I wanted to level up a new farming character. I've got Artisan 5 or something on my other character, but I decided that it's time to separate my life skills between different characters and just make things a little bit easier in the game for me. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the market here, and you're going to want to type in purple mushrooms. Now we're going to use purple mushrooms for leveling our farming experience because they're one of the fastest growing seeds you can get, and they're just the most common seed that you're going to use for farming. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to buy 100 of these seeds. Alright, so I think that's 100. Let's just check. Okay, there you go. So there's our 100 special purple mushroom hypha seeds. It's really important that you get the hypha. They're the blue seeds, and they're the ones that we want to get. So in terms of what character is best to do farming on, it actually doesn't matter. There is some people that like to use Shies for all the life skills. That's entirely up to you. The good thing about Shy is every single inventory space that you get, you also get additional weight. So your weight limit increases as your inventory spaces increases. The only character in the game that does it. Shies also come with Professional 1 Gathering and Professional 1 Alchemy. So they're not like pure life skill characters. They're not designed to be life skill characters as such. But in some circumstances, Shies are really beneficial, because if you're doing things that require you to have weight limit, like processing or cooking or alchemy or whatever it is, like things that require you to have a higher weight limit, then Shies are going to be beneficial. So it's up to you. But for farming, you don't really need a lot of weight. What you do need, though, is you're going to need a few inventory spaces. So I would maybe suggest just going through the first few, like the first quest lines, and you just get those free inventory slots and just extend your inventory a little bit. And that's just really going to help you. So you can see there as well, like I haven't done anything on this character. I've just put the 10 fences in there. I've got some beer in there to feed my workers and stuff, and I'm already at weight capacity. So just be aware of that. Now, where we're going to start off our farming is in Heidel. So Heidel is right here on the map. It's in that main kind of region where you're starting out the game. And the reason why is because of the weather here. So if you go to the map and you come across here to this one here, groundwater information, so you can see roughly like these dark blue spots are where all the, like if there's lots of water in those areas. So this is the groundwater information. You can see all the water there. We're going to be setting up our farms right here. And if you come here to temperature, you can see temperature, certain seeds and certain crops require certain climates. You can see the humidity here. So there is a bunch of certain seeds that will require more humidity than others, and certain seeds that will require you to have drier climates, or certain seeds that will need you to have wetter climates, for example. So where we're going to be going, there's this bridge right here, and we're going to be putting our farms along this riverbank here. Okay, so you should be able to fit 10 farms along there. If you can't, there is between this tree here and the bridge, you can fit 3 extra farms in there, in this spot right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and lay out the farms, because I'm at max weight. I can't get any of my seeds. So this is why the inventory slots and the extra weight may come in handy. Not that you need it really to start, but it just comes handy so that you don't have to make multiple trips. So this is that bridge here that we were talking about, and there's that tree. We're going to lay the fences to the right side of the bridge first. We're going to see if we can fit them all in. So you can do some here, but let's actually have a look and see. You do need to play a bit of Tetris when you're doing this. Okay, so you can see it's red there, so it doesn't actually let you doesn't actually let you put anything there. So that's why when I did this last time, I just went on the other side of this kind of stone mount here, and I was able to fit a bunch of fences along here. So all you do is you go into the inventory, you press X on the fence that you want to place down, and then you double click X again, and it's going to place that fence. Alright, so there it is. There's your first fence. Okay, so what you would do now is, if you've got those seeds in your inventory, you press L2 again, and it will bring up this kind of menu option here. So you can hold down triangle to go into the place mode where you would put your seeds, or you can press triangle one time and it will switch it around to the remove fence. That's how you pack up your fences. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly put all these fences down, and then I'm going to go grab a bunch of seeds, come back, and we're going to plant some seeds. Alright guys, so we've just been to the central market. We've got our inventory full of seeds. It's actually going to be a little bit annoying because we're going to have to make probably 3 trips to get all these in. So I do recommend you maybe getting those extra inventory slots before you start this. It's probably going to be beneficial. A couple of things are going to be really helpful for you guys for getting your farming level up is getting yourself one of these silver embroidered clothes. You can buy them from the central market. You can see there just a +1. Which is only like 4 million silver. It's going to get you an extra 10% farming XP, and you can get these farmer's clothes. These are only available from beginner 10, but they also give you another 10% farming XP. What you can do with these farmer's clothes, and where you get them from is you can get them from a luxury vendor. So there's this guy here in Heidel, right across from the marketplace director there. And if you're still not sure, the blacksmith is right here as well. So what you do is you're going to go to the luxury vendor. You can have a chat with him, and you can go to the shop, and you can see here you can buy these outfits, okay, for horse training, for gathering, for sailing, for farming, for fishing, etc. And what you can do with them is you can use a equipment tailoring coupon, and you can turn it into a premium outfit. And then what you can do is you can equip it as a premium costume outfit thing, and then you can also have the silver embroiders one equipped at the same time, so you can get the extra percentages on your experience and the other benefits as well. This one gives you +1 gathering, and this one gives you some movement speed. So the higher level you go, the more kind of stats you get. But there are a couple of things that can help you as well. The other thing that is good to have is you can use some suit tea. Suit tea gives you life experience +8% for 90 minutes. The healthy suit tea is the same 8% for it's 110 minutes. And pets as well. If you've got any pets that give you farming experience or anything like that, life experience. Life experience is a good one. It's more common on pets than the farming. So if you've got those, then that's going to be really beneficial as well for you guys. You can get your level up really quickly. So to get to Artisan is really the goal here, because once we get to Artisan, it's when we really start, things start happening for us. We can start making a lot of money with farming, and we start getting a lot of our mats for the dream horse. So you can see here I've laid 3 fences along here on the left side of the bridge, like I said, and then I've also laid 7 on the other side of this stone bit here. So there they are. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to start at this end just because I'm here right now. You might have to shuffle them around a little bit if you get to the end and you can't fit them. You might have to just relay them, but you can definitely get 7 before this little bit of stone right here and this break in the fence. You can definitely get 7 and 3 on the other side. So if you can't fit them, then you just got to reshuffle and try again. So all you do now is you hit that L2 button. You're going to hold down triangle to go to the place menu. It's going to have your crops here. You can see up on the right hand side there as well, you've got some different kind of bit of information: temperature, humidity, water, and fertilizer. We're not going to worry about that just yet because it's not important. The goal right now is experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to just lay out 10 of these seeds, and these seeds are going to start growing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there you go, you've got 10. I actually just realized it also tells you in the top right corner there, usage 10 out of 10. So rather than sitting there counting, you can just look at that and it tells you how many you've got. Okay, so now we're just going to lay 10 more. What we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're just going to lay 10 seeds out in every farm. A good little tip, guys, is when you're doing this for experience, it really doesn't matter where you place the seeds. Having them spaced out or not makes no difference at all. We really don't care about spacing because we want these seeds to get tangled and have all the little issues so that we can fix them up. That's where we get the experience from. There may be some benefit to spacing them out later on when you're getting the when you're trying to farm for specific produce or something like that, for cooking or alchemy. But for now, for what we're doing, don't even worry about space. Just put them in any spots where you can fit them. Alright guys, so there we go. We've got all of our 100 seeds planted. Now what you're going to do is you make sure that you've got your silver embroider and your suit tee. Make sure you've got your suit tee on as well for that extra life experience. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to run back to the start, and you're going to see already that your farms need attending to. So what you can do, a really good tip, is if you come into here, the ring setting menu, and you go across to menu, there's a thing here called My Gardens. Okay, you can put that onto a specific spot there, and then you go into the ring menu and you open that up, and then you can actually click on the specific gardens, and you can see, press triangle, and you can see what's going on with the gardens. So you can see here on this one, the red, they need attending to. Now this is where the magic happens, right? So you can see, let's go back into that farm. You can click on that farm and you can press square and navigate, and it's going to take you to that farm. What we do is we'll just have a look at these ones here, because it's normally, this happens before you can even finish laying all the seeds out. There's always ones here that you need to attend to. And just to show you again, we're at 0.00% beginner one farming, right? Just so you can see. So you have a look at the farms, and you can't see any red ones there. Alright, this one here. Here we go. It says, see how it says prune on there? So if you press triangle, you can go crop information, but pruning is what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to prune the that specific crop, and look at that. We hit beginner. We actually hit beginner 3 farming just from doing that one crop. Now we're going to do another one, and we're just going to keep doing this. I would probably do this on a day when you literally have all day just to sit there and look after your farms. Because if you were to do this for like a full day, day and a half, you will hit artisan farming in that time. It's super fast. You can see we're at beginner 5 farming just from doing those few crops. It actually goes up really quickly. So this is all you do, guys. You just sit here and you prune your crops until they grow, and this is how you get the experience, and this is going to get you to artisan farming in a day, or like a day and a half, 2 days. All right, guys, so we're back 5.5 hours later, and let's take a look at where we're at so far. So the first thing that I want to point out is the level of my character. When we started this today, we were at level 12, so we've actually increased our combat level by 10 just from doing all this farming today. We've also got some skill points. I think I was watching it and I noticed it was going up by like 0.4% at some stage, and then it changed to 0.3%. So it's not a whole lot of skill points, but it's still some. So you can take that into consideration as well, that your character is going to level up naturally over time by doing the life skilling as well. Looking into the inventory, what we've got here, I did actually start pulling some of them up just to get some of these items in the inventory so you can have a look. But basically what we got was 55 of these Monk's Branch. Now you can sell these to a vendor for 600 silver, or you can sell them on the central market for 1,940 silver. It's up to you what you want to do. The Spirit's Leaf, we got 116 of those, 2,250. You can sell them on the central market. They can be used for alchemy as well. If you're one of those people that do alchemy, you can use the Spirit's Leaf for those. The mysterious seeds, with these, what you do is you get 5 of them and you do some processing with 1 magic seed or a hypha seed, and you're going to get back 5 random seeds or a hypha of this, or 5 hypha of the same type. The other thing we got is these random twigs and the caterpillars. You just sell them to a vendor, get some easy silver there. And the weeds, we got 1,342 of those. So if you look at that, you can sell them to a vendor for 10 silver each, or you can sell them on the central market. These actually sell quite well in the central market. So if you go 1,000, what do we get? 1,342. That's 1.5 million silver on the central market just by doing all this sort of stuff here. So there's a little bit of money there, not too much, but you know, it's something. The other thing that we got was these sharps and the hards. These are you can get these by farming. You can get them by doing a lot of other life skills as well. But farming is one way that you can get them. It's probably not the most effective way to get them, but you can get them. Especially when you're doing the pruning and killing the bugs. So, for example, these sharps are 1.7 million each on the market. We got 5 of them, and the hards are 1.6 million on the central market each, and we got 3 of those. I wouldn't sell these because I do a lot of enhancing, so these are quite valuable to me. But it is an option there for you if you want to do that as well. I pulled up the one of the actual. I harvested one of the crops so you could see what the what this was, what it looks like. You get these special purple mushrooms here. Now these sell for 7,250 silver on the market. We got 27 of them, and so that's about 195,000 just from one seed. Now, so you can make money by harvesting the plant and selling it, but that's not what we want to do. Looking at the experience, we're at professional 8 farming now. Remember we started at 0, and now we're at professional 8. To get to artisan, think of it like professional 11. So 2 and 2 more levels, and like maybe 2/3, okay, until we get to that artisan, and then we can start getting magic seeds and things start moving a lot easier for us. We can do different things. So looking at the crops now, they're at 100%. Here's one that we can prune this one. The energy is a little bit low. Speaking of energy, what I did was I actually started off the video. I think I had like 115 energy or something like that. By the time I got to my crops, I think I had around 130. So on top of the 130 energy that I had, I also used an additional 150 energy. I went to the market and I just bought some of those energy pots. So I bought these energy pods here, like 3 million silver each, and that gave me an extra 50 energy each. So that allowed me to get through a lot of the day. So what we need now is we're pretty much out of energy to pull these up. But what we would do is we would go through, and when you go up to the seed, it's going to say harvest. We don't want to harvest it. We want to press triangle down, and we're going to hold down triangle now for plant breeding. What this is going to do is it's going to pull up the seed. Now you have a chance to get between 1 and 3 seeds, so you're going to get these back. What you can do is you can sell these in the central market and make your money back on the initial 100 seeds that you bought if you want. I personally don't really care. It's not a massive investment for me, so I'm just going to throw them away, just so that I'm not running backwards and forwards to the market 10 times. So I just want to make that inventory space, so I'm just going to replant the ones that I need and then throw them away. So because we're not at artisan farming yet, we're going to replant the seeds, we're going to do another crop, and then we're going to come back when we hit that artisan farming. Alright guys, so there we go. We've hit artisan on our farming finally. So all that's left to do now is just to wait until these farms reach 100%. Then we're going to pull them all up, and we are going to pack up the fences, and we're going to move our fence location. So again, this was just a really fast method just to get that artisan 1 farming. The whole purpose of having the farms in this location is because it's really bad conditions for growing the crops, and they take a really long time. So and then you want them to take a long time because that means that you're going to have more opportunities to do the pruning and killing the bugs on each individual crop. So like I said, every time you do that, you're going to get that XP, and the XP is going to build up, and you're going to hit that artisan. So I was able to do it over a 10-hour period. I was able to get that artisan 1 in one day over 10 hours. So if you've got one full day that you can just spend doing it, you can do it. Otherwise, just break it up over 2 days, and you'll do it. So like I said, all we do now is we just wait for these to hit 100%, and we collect everything, and then we pack up the fences. If you guys got any of these items here, the female Kermies, these are a trade item. So what I did is I activated these 2 nodes here. It cost me 4 contribution points, and or what you can do then as well is you can just go to the trade manager. So there's one at this farm right here. You need those 2 nodes activated to do this, and then you can just go and you can sell those trade items. They're relatively heavy. They weigh like 18 LT each. They weigh. So once you start to get a few of them, they will weigh you down. But yeah, you can just come here and you can sell them. You can do the bartering game, so you can get a bit more cash for it. And there you go. Alright, so that's those sold. Now all we got to do is, like I said, we're just going to pull up these crops, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so we've packed everything up. We've got all of our fences ready to go. Now what I decided to do, there's a couple of different things you can do. What I decided to do was, instead of pulling up all the seeds and then throwing them away, because of my inventory space and how much weight I can carry on this character, I decided that what I would do is just harvest all of the crops. So this was just a decision that I made. It's not necessarily a decision that you need to make. For example, there is pros and cons of both. If you decide to breed your seeds, so you want to get all the seeds back, you want to sell the seeds on the central market, you can do that. And you're also going to get these fruits here. Every seed has its own kind of individual fruit. There's different ones. Nature, there's abundance, there's power, there's all sorts of different ones, right? Each one of them are kind of have a different value. For example, this one's worth 28,000 silver, which isn't too much, right? But so that's one of the benefits, is you can get the seeds back and you can store them if you want to use them at another time, or you can just sell them. You also get the fruits back. The other benefit of breeding the plants is the entire purpose of this whole farming thing is getting these here. I haven't explained what these are. These are the mats that you need for the Dream Horse Awakening attempt. These are what you use to make the Stonetail Fodder. So that's the seed half eaten by a bird, the premature fruit, the mutant plant, and the unusual fruit and plant with rotting roots. So those 5 items there are the mats that you get when you breed a seed. And then that's what you use to make a Stonetail Fodder. So for example, I'm just going to show you right now. We're going to go into simple cooking. Okay. You need 20 and 20. Right. So you can just pick any one. Doesn't matter. As long as there's 20. And okay, it's not going to let me do it because my inventory is too full, but that's what you do. So what I decided to do was I thought I would just pull up all of these. I'll just harvest all of these crops, and I'm just going to sell them on the central market. It's probably going to take a little while to sell all of them, but all right, there we go. So and I just did that because major influence on that decision was just because of my weight limit there, my weight restriction, and my inventory space, and I just couldn't really be bothered with it all. But like I said, it's entirely up to you. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. So now what I'm going to do is there we go. Okay, just had to free up some space just so I could move a little bit faster. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move our farms to Velia. Now there are different locations. Remember, going off the resource information, the groundwater information, temperature, all that sort of stuff plays a major factor in where you want to put your farms. What I do is in Logia Farm, right? So right here, I'm going to go and place 10 farms right here. So the other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a new type of seed. You can keep using the purple mushrooms. I decided to change. Now I've got this document here that's got all information of seeds, and I will post this link to this in the description below so you guys can all get access to this. But you can see here, this is based on computer information, on the PC information, but a lot of it is still relative. So you can see here it's got the cycles for the seeds. This is for EU, which is the server that I'm on. If you're on NA, you just switch to NA, and SA and SEA, depending on whatever server you're on. Okay, there's different ones there. Alright, so the thing that I like to go off the most is this seed data. Now, you can see here it's got a list of all these different seeds, and each one of these is going to have a different climate conditions, different growing areas depending on the seed. I'm not going to go through all of them because it's just too much information, but if there's a particular seed that you want to grow, then I would suggest researching about that seed. But these are listed in terms of value. So dry grass mane would be the highest value. It sells, one magical seed sells for 344,200 silver. The magical seeds, you just sell them to a vendor, so you don't pay tax on it, which is really cool as well. So you get that full value there, that 344k, and you can see the seed profit growth per hour is 15,998. These take 2 hours and 22 minutes to grow. The thing that I consider as well is the fruit, right? So the Fruit of Enchantment, it only sells for, I think it's like, let's have a look here. If we type in enchantment, and we'll see what it's selling for at the moment. Alright, so the Fruit of Enchantment there, it's only selling for 13,800 a piece, and there's 3,500 of them on the market at the moment. Right. The one that I switched to was this hump mushroom. What the things that I'm considering is the time. It takes 2 hours and 40 minutes to grow. The 2 hours 22 minutes, I think that's the fastest one there, is that dry grass mane. And these need dry conditions, the dry grass mane. So somewhere around like Altanova where there's not too much moisture or something like that. I believe that's the best area for grass. If I'm wrong, someone tell me in the comments below. The one that I'm growing is the hump mushroom. The reason for that is the time. I'm considering the time, 2 hours 40 minutes to grow. The seeds sell for 260,000 a piece, so it's not like the best selling seed. However, the Fruit of Power sells for 120,000 a piece, and it's one of the most valuable fruits in the game. So when you're considering time, the price of the seeds, and the price of the fruits that you're selling for in the central market, then it's more valuable to me. The other thing that you need to consider as well is certain seeds use different slots. This time, once you get to the magical seeds, you're going to have less seeds to deal with. So all of these seeds here, you can see they only use 5 slots per seed. Things like the grape take 10 slots per seed. So you're only going to get 1 seed per fence, right? So what we do is, once you've got the seed that you want and you know what seed you want, you're going to go to the market and you're going to buy a bunch of the seeds. You can see that I've got the special hump mushroom hypha. That's the seed that I'm using. Okay, and what's going to happen is, now that we're at artisan farming, we're going to be able to start collecting magic seeds. You can't get these until you hit artisan farming. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to Logia Farm, and we're going to start putting our fences down over there. So that's, again, you just find Logia Farm, and you can just set a waypoint to that area right there. So while that's auto running over there, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about these seeds. When you're choosing what seed you want to use, you really need to consider your playtime and how much kind of time you can dedicate to being able to log in and pull up your seeds. So if you are someone that can only get on maybe 2 times a day, like in the middle of the day or something like that, and then again in the nighttime, maybe something like the grape seed is more beneficial for you. It's got a 3 hour 55 minute fertilizer time until it's ready to be pulled up. Again, you can only put 1 seed per fence. It does sell for 700,000 silver to a vendor. Okay, I do believe, oh no, there's another one. Corn sells for 703,000. So they're the 2 most valuable in the game, the corn and the grape. But the corn has got 4 hours and 10 minutes to grow. So these are things that you need to consider as well. How much time you have to dedicate to the game. You also need to consider the fact that if you can only fit 1 seed per fence, then you're also going to be getting half of the amount of Dream Horse procs. Okay, all of those mats that we get from pulling up the seeds, you're going to get half the amount because you only got 10 seeds instead of 20 seeds. Okay, so when you're choosing what seed you want to pick, consider time, value of the fruit, value of the seed itself, and how many seeds you can actually use. So for example, let's see if we can find one here. This one, Emperor Mushroom, 276,000 silver to a vendor per seed. You can get 20 seeds, and it's got a 4.5 hour time until it's fully grown. So again, if you can only get on like 2, maybe 3 times a day over like a 12-hour period or something like that, then something like that is going to be more beneficial for you. Maybe something like a tiger mushroom that has a 5-hour growth time. You know, you can remote log in while you're away, and you can pull up and redo your crops, something like that. These are the things that you need to consider, because I don't like letting my crops go to 200%. Once you hit 200%, and you decide to breed your seeds, it's not going to impact the seeds itself, but you are going to get less mats. And if you were to harvest your crops, I do believe that it affects the amount of like items that you harvest as well, because after it hits 200%, the seeds start to deteriorate. So I do believe that's how it works. So you really need to be able to pull it up once it hits 100%. The other thing that I consider as well is a lot of people like to take their seeds to like 140, 150% or something like that. The way that I consider it is, if you can pull it up at like 150%, for example, and you're getting like a tiny amount more mats than what you would pulling it up at 100%, essentially what you're doing is you're doing a 1.5 seed cycle. So I kind of feel like if you were to pull it up at 100% and then you replanted and then you pulled it up at 100% again, you're still going to end up better off, because you're doing 2 seed cycles instead of like let's say over a 3-hour period you would be doing 3 seed cycles instead of 1.5, if that makes sense. So I would I definitely find like it's more beneficial just to pull it up at 100%, replant it, and then go from there. So again, all these things you need to consider when you're choosing your seeds. I've been going with the hump mushrooms just because I have the availability to be able to get on every 2.5 hours or so and replant these, pull up and replant these seeds. Alright, so here we are now. We're at Logia Farm. You can see that's Velia just over there, and this area here is really good for planting your dropping your fences. So what you want to do is you're just going to place your fences down, and what I try to do is I try to have them all compacted together, so that and I'm going to explain why in a second. Alright, so try to have them all connected like four right next to each other, instead of having them all spaced out. Just like that. Alright, so once all your farms are laid out, if you go to put your farm down and like for some reason it doesn't let you put it in there like all the other ones, it doesn't really matter. It'll still work, but if you can get them all like this, it just makes things a little bit easier, but it doesn't really matter too much. Alright guys, so once your fences are laid out, just grab all of your seeds that you've decided that you want to use from the marketplace, whether it's you know, if you want to stick with the purple mushrooms, or you want to go with the grapes, or you want to do some paprika, or you do want to use these hump mushrooms. Okay, so just make sure that you get the hypha. These are it's really important that you get the blue seeds. They're those ones that you need. So once you've planted all your seeds, you can do exactly the same thing that you did before. You can keep pruning, and you can keep killing bugs, and you're going to get more experience from doing that. And then once you pull them up, you're going to get these things called magic seeds. And the magic seeds can't be sold on the central market. They can only be sold to an NPC. You can see this one, we were talking about it before. This sells for 260,000 silver to an NPC. When I'm doing this, if I can attend to my crops like 4 or 5 times a day, generally I make profit on top of the seeds that I'm replanting. I'm making about 13 million-ish, about like 11 to 13 million silver a day just from the seeds. On top of that, I'm making like maybe another 13 million silver a day from the fruit of power that I'm selling in the central market. I'm also making around 30 to 40 Stonetail Fodders a day. Now the price at the moment for the Stonetail Fodder on PC is 2.5 million. So if you were able to make 40 Stonetail Fodders a day, that's 100 million silver. Just let that sink in for a second, guys. So you have an opportunity to make anywhere from like 80 to like 120 million silver a day, like doing this farming, if you were to sell everything on the central market. And of course that's basing it off of PC prices of 2.5 million. If you look at our prices, they were actually getting up there. They were sitting at the 2 million mark. It looks like they've come back down a little bit. 1.6 million they're sitting at the moment. Like I said, they were at 2 million, come back down, probably because the market was flooded. But I do expect that they're probably going to balance out around that 2 million mark. Okay, given that the market is different on console than it is to PC. So take that into perspective as well when you're considering how often you want to be checking your farms. Alright, so after you've got your magic seeds, you're just going to lay them out in here like that. The other thing that you're going to need is organic fertilizer and purified water. So you can buy these from the central market. I just buy them. You can make them if you want, but I just buy them. And I buy like 1,000 at a time. I leave them in my storage, and then I just take out 100 of each. And when I run out, I grab another 100. So all I do is I just stand here in the middle of the 4 fences, and I just use one of each. Or depending on what the levels are, I always try and keep the levels above 50%. So you can see there with my 2 seeds that I just laid. Okay, my water is now at 85% and my fertilizer is at 80%. So that was good, just using the one of each. Water is going to be affected by things like rain and temperature and all that sort of stuff. So I actually didn't really need to put water on these because there was already, you can see, look, my water's at 54%. So obviously with current climate, there's some water in the ground, but you just keep an eye on it. And if it goes below 50%, I just throw another water on there, and it's good to go. So you just keep doing that, and you plant your seeds and checking that water and the fertilizer. Now the other thing that I do is I want to have maximum or the fastest growth time. So if I go into my gardens, for example, and I'm going to go to worker list, right? You can send your workers here from anywhere in the map. You don't have to have nodes connected. So any kind of workers that you've got free, you can send them here. And what they're going to do is they're going to do all of that kind of dirty work for you, pruning your crops and killing all the bugs. And they're basically just going to keep the seeds going at a really fast pace, so that you can pull them up in like the fastest time possible. I like to use giants just because like speed and all that sort of stuff doesn't really matter. No stats really affect doing this task. I just use giants because they've got the most amount of stamina. You can use humans as well. They don't have as much stamina as a giant, but you definitely don't want to be using goblins for this, because they're going to run out of stamina really fast, and if they do run out of stamina, they're going to walk back to their home, and you're going to have to wait until they reach their home before you can put another worker there. So it does waste a lot of time, especially if you're using a worker from far away. If you are going to do this, I would suggest having your workers on your farms close by. So I'm going to be using these ones here from Calphion. So it's not like super close, but it's not super far away either. So I just do the same thing with these, and I'll just use this human as well. All right. So that's all you do. The negative to doing this is you don't get the opportunity to prune your crops or kill the bugs yourself. So you are going to miss out on a lot of the experience that you would normally get from doing that. However, it does free up a massive amount of your time, so that you can go and do other tasks. You can go and grind. You can go and do fishing. You can go and do processing. You can go and do cooking. And then all you need to do is you just switch back to your farming character. Once these are ready, okay, once this is at 100%, you just switch back to that character. You pull up your crops, you replant them, and then you switch back and you go and do other tasks. So this is really time effective to use workers. I believe you still get experience from just harvesting the crops. Just from breeding, but obviously it's going to be less than if you were doing it yourself. So you've got to weigh up the pros and cons. Okay, standing here all day pruning and looking after your crops is time. It takes up a lot of your time. You do get the experience from it, but and then if you were to use workers, it just frees up a lot of your time so you can go and do other things. And also, standing here all day looking after your farms is super boring, and you're going to get over it pretty quickly. So you just keep going through, and you just keep planting all those seeds. And again, with these, what you're going to do is, once they are ready, you are going to keep breeding. If you are doing farming for alchemy or cooking, and you need items, you need mushrooms, you need strawberries, you need whatever the item is that you need specifically for the tasks that you're doing, then what you would do is you would do the harvest. However, for this specific goal of making Stonetail Fodders so that we can get our Dream Horse awakening, that is not something you want to do. You only want to be breeding the seeds, okay? Because once you breed the seeds, that's going to be giving you these procs here. Now that I've got some inventory weight free, what I can do is I can show you. So again, we're going to go to simple cooking, okay? Any one of these, as long as there's 20, you can do. It doesn't matter, and you get that going, and you're going to get between 1 and 3 Stonetail Fodders. So there you go. So there's 3 Stonetail Fodders, and again, you can save them all up, or you can sell them on the central market and make a decent amount of money. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with it. But that's pretty much it, guys. That covers everything. Again, all you need to do is just keep that water up, keep the fertilizer up. And what I would do as well is every time you plant your seeds, you just check that the water level's good. You check that that doesn't need any fertilizer, and then you just and you feed your workers as well. It's really important that you keep feeding your workers, otherwise they're going to run out of stamina and they're going to end up walking back to whatever town they've come from, and it's going to waste a lot of time. So that's it, guys, for this video. I hope you guys learned a lot. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, sub to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell button for notifications on future videos like this and all other videos Black Desert Console related. If there's any kind of videos or anything that you're stuck on in the game that you really want to know or you need some help with, let me know in the comments below, and I will either do a video on it or I'll answer any questions that you have. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support, and I'll see you in the next video.